Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jeremy. This is Strange Radios, and it's time for an album review. Weezer, aka the Teal album. Most certainly not one I was anticipating covering. Weezer, to me, they're a fine band. I listen to them now and again. They're not one that I particularly follow closely. But in 2018, when they released that cover of Africa and the whole meme surrounding that whole thing, was pretty funny, and I enjoyed the cover, and it was just an enjoyable time for the band musically. And I know they've been gearing up for their next album. I think it's just gonna be called the Black Album. And then they dropped this surprise Teal album, an album full of covers. At first, no real interest in it, because again, Weezer's not a band that I particularly follow. But when I saw the track listing, I was very, very intrigued. A very eclectic group of songs here. So what is the Teal album, really? It's basically just Weezer having fun by the sounds of it. It's a very light album, very fun, very not so serious album. That was probably born out of the Toto Africa meme, because that is the first track on this album. And it seems that Weezer's really embracing this idea of rock music being synonymous with meme music. And maybe that's what rock music is going to be for now, to sort of keep it on life support until something new comes along, because rock music has taken a step back. Hip hop's passed it by a long shot, and so maybe memes are gonna be what keeps rock music standing until it can make a resurgence. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If rock music has to be sort of meme driven for a little while, joke driven for a little while, that's fine, so long as we come out on the other side of that with some new rock bands that are taking rock into a more interesting direction. But again, the songs on this album are eclectic. You have artists being covered, obviously Toto. You also have the Eurythmics, Tears for Fears, ELO, the Turtles, Ben E. King, and Michael Jackson, and even TLC and Black Sabbath. A very strange array of musical artists. But the thing that really impressed me about this record is the fact that Weezer pulls on all these different songs from all these different genres, and they make it sound like a cohesive record. And it hit me halfway through this record what was going on. Weezer's really drawing on their influences, and it shows how eclectic their influences are. They can do Black Sabbath, TLC, and Ben King on the same record, and they all sound like Weezer songs. This sounds like a Weezer album, which is perhaps the most impressive aspect of it. That the fact that they can take all these songs, bring them together, and it sounds like it works. It sounds like it fits. It sounds normal for Weezer. I saw some discussion online, Twitter and Facebook and whatnot, about Weezer not bringing enough originality to the covers, not being creative with them, basically just treating them as if they were just covering them note for note. And I don't understand why that's not fine. Weezer's not a cover band. They don't just do covers all the time. And so with this album, it's pretty clear, at least to me, they're just indulging in some fun, which is fine. Bands are allowed to have fun. You're allowed to have fun making music. And that's what this record seems like. It seems like a bunch of guys just having fun, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be, super creative or super original. They don't have to take these songs and put their own Weezer spin on it. That's not necessary. They're just goofing around. And I can get on board with that. That's a fun vibe for the record. A couple of the songs, arguably they work or they don't work. For me, Sweet Dreams is a little meh, as well as No Scrubs by TLC. But, they're not bad covers. None of the songs on here are bad covers. They're just not Weezer-y enough. The one that really sort of surprised me was Happy Together by the Turtles, which was such a weird inclusion, I guess only because I don't hear that song referenced very much. the last time I heard it was on that Frank Zappa album. But yeah, just it's just a fun record. It's not trying to be anything serious. It's not trying to change the world. It's not trying to reinvigorate rock music. It's just sort of embracing the memery that is rock music right now. And that's okay. I'm not sure how to score this one. Kind of a joke album, a covers album. So what do you do with it? I'll give it a 6.2. It's enjoyable. Nothing wrong with that. And I think that's really all it's going for. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. This has been Strange Radios. Stranger, adios.